Alright, back on the farm this morning. Trying to sneak a food plot in between thunderstorms. It's extremely hot. It's the middle of July. Had a day of torrential rain yesterday, so the ground is pretty muddy. But as you can see here, I guess my food plot tiller actually works. See where it's ripping up the ground here. I mowed it down. There's a little bit of grass growing here. I'd predominantly killed most of the weeds. It was just grass. So we're gonna do a couple more circles here and then get some seed down. It works pretty well. Cuts the ground right up. Now this ground is not exactly flat, there's a big undulation in it, so I do have to adjust the height. Sometimes you'll see it will grab it, it'll start to bite in because the tractor will lift up. But other than that, I'm pretty pleased with it. Cuts right down into the dirt. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna rake all this loose sod and grass and stuff off of it. Then I'm gonna get in a plugger. I'm gonna run it with a plugger. This ground is really hard, it's like clay, so the water doesn't really get down into it. We had probably a few inches of rain yesterday, and I guarantee you only the first inch of this soil is wet. There's a a drain behind me here where my tree stand is mounted behind me, and there's a spring, and then a lot of the water just drains off into that, then it runs down the middle of the valley here to the pond down there. But this ground is really hard. I mean, you've seen for some of my trapping videos how hard it is for me to drive the trapping stakes in. So I think the plugger will do a real good job of aerating it and letting more water down into the soil. And then we're going to fertilize it and we're going to seed it. So hopefully that works out. I just went down to the barn and threw the spiker on there and threw the seeder on there, no trailer required. That's pretty handy. Alright, back to work. Okay, now I've switched my implement here. We're going to go with a spiker seeder. So you can see it's got a row of spikes under here when I lower the wheels down. It's going to engage the ground. That'll break up any clumps, smooth it out and aerate the ground too. And I can also put seed in here. We'll actually seed or fertilizer. Won't put fertilizer in there. Just have to switch my hitch around. I disengage my lifter, and then I switch my hitch around so I can put the pin in this, and we're ready to go. Oat, brassica, turnip, mix of good stuff, wheat, clover. So we're going to get this out. See that pot came out all right? Look at that. See, I got the disc on the back there. Done a pretty good job. It's about to rain, so I'm going to get this seed out as quick as I can. Well, I think I got that food plot in just in time. I ordered this rain special, so I didn't have to lug any water to water it. Pouring now. See, I parked my tractor out under the tree over here. You just see it. Yeah, that's how it goes. I was really pleased with how that little the drag worked, the cultivator. That worked pretty good. I was pleased with that. I disked it then with the aerator, the plugger. Then I seeded it real quick, and then it was actually starting to rain when I was doing that. I seeded it real quick, and then I went back over it with the aerator and the tractor to try and, you know, compact the seed down into the dirt. I think they would call that a cultipacker. You can get all that fancy equipment at you know, from the farming supply places, but not everybody has $100 grand to spend on a tractor, and you know, $2,000 and $3,000 per implement to do that. I have access to big tractors here, but where I plant these plots is small areas that it's not easy to get a tractor. You know, the big tractor is fine for big open fields, but it's pretty awkward to use in narrow places. You can't turn it around real easy when you've got trees on both sides and stuff. Now I could have used it where I planted that. I could have used it there because it's pretty open. I can turn out into the path and then turn the tractor around, but it's just as fun doing it with the little tractor. That worked out pretty good. I'm pleased with it. I'll try to hit it with some fertilizer and see how it grows.